Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to the Retranslated podcast. I am going to be hosting this bad boy today. My name is Marcus. I am the voice actor for Riku in the Retranslated project. With me today we have the man, the myth, the director, OK Man himself, or the little cricket, Adamonator.
I mean, Adams is fine.
Or Adam, yeah, him too. Big banana shoe boy, Sora himself, Jack.
Hey!
And our Vexen voice actor, who made his debut in the most recent episode of Kingdom Hearts Retranslated, Giovanni, who plays our Vexen.
One day you'll have to answer for your actions, and God won't be so merciful. Hi.
Okay. Well, you're a ball of sunshine.
Yeah. This episode's going to be great.
This is going to be a good one.
Yeah, we got 4 people today. Yay!
Yay!
Yeah, this is uncommon.
Hey!
Woo!
Right.
Yeah!
So, we'll start like any other podcast when we have someone new. Gio, thoughts on the series? Kingdom Hearts 1. Go for it.
Kingdom Hearts 1, Kingdom Hearts 1 is probably the game in the series I have the least amount of experience with. I'm going to be completely honest, I never grew up with Kingdom Hearts. I got into it very, very, very recently. So out of all the games, I've only really played Kingdom Hearts once or twice. Kingdom Hearts 2 I've played like 3 or 4 times, and 3 I've played like 3 times.
That's one of the things I like about this group that we have for this, is we're mixed up of a bunch of fans. You have fans like us, for example, who have been here since, like, I've been part of the Kingdom Hearts community since 200002. There are some people that didn't get about Kingdom Hearts 2, or some people that didn't get after Kingdom Hearts 2 was released, like 2010 or 2011. And then you have people that have only been here for a year or two. That's what I like the most about this group, is that we're all different levels of veterans.
And then you have one voice actor in our team who has never played the games.
Hurst.
Ooh, yeah, that's like a really different part. They're getting into it still.
Yeah. I don't think
it's a prequel.
So, you're not familiar with Kingdom Hearts 1 then, are you?
No, not really. If you asked me something about Kingdom Hearts 1, I'd probably not be able to fucking answer it.
Okay, but like, what do you think it's a cool game, or like?
I think it's a good game. I think it's a fantastic start to a series, and the overall idea and what it tried to do gameplay and story-wise was very, very interesting, especially for its time. I think out of the rest of the series, it's the least confusing, because at that time, I don't think they had so much like sprawling lore that they're going to have to pull together and try to make sense.
Much like its theme song, it was very simple and clean.
Yeah. Quite literally.
Yeah.
You play through the game, you understood everything.
Yeah. The reason I like the other Kingdom Hearts games more, personally, is just the movement. I just feel so much... I just prefer games that I feel faster in, you know?
So you do actually like the floaty sort of mechanics of the games?
Yeah.
Whereas, I do agree, Kingdom Hearts 1 is a little bit clunky. So, I'm guessing you've never played Chain of Memories then?
Oh, I've played Chain of Memories.
You have?
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Don't worry, I hate myself. It's fine. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't great. It took some of the aspects from Kingdom Hearts 1 that I liked and just didn't do anything with it. And I'm just like, well...
Like what, Sora's outfit? Nothing else was the same.
It's just, the game was just...
They even changed his voice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean...
How dare Haley Joel Osment hit
It was weird. Well, no, because didn't they... Because from what I know...
They did Kingdom Hearts 2 first.
Yeah.
and
then went back and recorded new stuff.
Yeah, because they still had the engine for Kingdom Hearts 2 and thought, you know what, let's remake Chain of Memories for the PlayStation 2. And because Haley Joel Osment had gone through puberty, you have aged up Sora.
Well, because the thing is that it's Kingdom Hearts 1, he's like a little kid. Then Chain of Memories, he's like a bit older. And then he gets younger again.
Days older.
I like... One thing I did like about Chain of Memories is, like, story-wise, I thought it was pretty fun.
The story is phenomenal, and it's probably the darkest we ever got to Kingdom Hearts.
The problem is, it started a precedent.
Convolutedness.
And by the time we got to Kingdom Hearts 2, the game was made like, light, darkness, darkness, light, darkness, darkness, light, darkness, light. And
Little did we know that to find is to lose, and to lose is to find would be the least complicated line that we would get for a while.
Yeah. No, that's
the quote. The quote Jello Apocalypse. Also, after that point, we got to meet the Sortas. Are they Sora?
The Sortas.
I do like that line. Jello Apocalypse. I really like.
Another thing that Chain of Memories like set up a precedent of was having integral story like beats in side games. Well, they were side games.
The only other game series I can think of that kind of did that was Metal Gear Solid, and even then, it wasn't that bad for them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the main
you could still play the main line and understand what was going on.
Yeah,
I think the main game series I can think of that's like very like, oh, you need to play all the spin-offs to understand what the fuck is going on is it's SMT, because there's so many universe things that you need to understand to like play it, and you don't need to. It's just like when you get to a certain point in the game, like, yeah, this is YHVH and Lucifer, and you should understand how this works. You're just like, what? This is my first SMT game. What the hell's going on? You
know. So you're more familiar with Kingdom Hearts 2 than I am.
Yep.
Anything you like about it in particular?
Not really. I just thought it was fun. I thought it was a fun little trip. I'm a big sucker for. Look, I'm not the biggest fan of the story of Kingdom Hearts, but the characters and the world and the aesthetic and the music and all this stuff is very, very, very great for me. I think it's a fun game with a fun plot, and it's just very simple. Not very simple story-wise, but if you turn your brain off and just be like, look at Sora, you go into funny Disney worlds. It's just a good time.
For a game series that's first song was simple and clean, like really misleading everyone there.
It turns out that when say face your fears, it's actually facing the fears of the massive plot. And
I just thought it was talking about the fact that Skrillex is on that song, and when I heard it gave me a
everyone was afraid of Skrillex.
Everyone was afraid of Skrillex.
People give Skrillex a hard time. I like that song. Fuck you guys.
I'm not saying I don't hate Skrillex. I just think it's so weird that like of all, because I think the song's good, and then you're like, yeah, and then just kind of like just travels into like fucking techno babble,
and then it just goes, and then I can't lie, that's what, Don't think twice goes harder.
Oh yeah. I love you for a lifetime. Such a good song.
You do realize how Skrillex actually got involved in the series, right?
How?
So, Utada Hikaru made Don't Think Twice, and obviously with every Kingdom Hearts game, whatever song Utada Hikaru makes, she also makes like a remix version for the intro. Skrillex, after hearing Don't Think Twice, went up to her and basically said, hey, I'm a big fan of the series, do you mind if I make the remix of your song? And it was Utada who actually said, no, I've heard your work. Do you want to make a new song? And then they went up to Disney, went up to Square Enix, they both approved it, and that's how we got Face Your Fears. It was basically, if anything, if you don't like Skrillex, it's Utada's fault.
True.
It's a long pause.
We're all just sitting here like, damn it. We don't want to be mad at her. I don't hate Face Your Fears, Face My Fears, but it's just it's not as good.
Yeah. It's that genre. It's a fun genre of music. I like techno, and I like some of the other stuff Skrillex does, because sometimes I just want to turn my brain off and be like, yeah, this is fun. Woo woo, you know, but sometimes I'm like, this is fucking Kingdom Hearts, please stop.
Yeah.
Good. Well, this is Mickey Mouse.
This is Mickey Mouse and fucking Beauty and the Beast and whatever the hell goes on in Traverse Town.
Sometimes you just gotta accept like some things that happen, like the fact that Riku can smell darkness sometimes.
Only in Chain of Memories. Only that one.
Exactly.
He lost
but like
no more retcon that.
Did he actually
retcon? I don't know.
You just want it to be retcon.
He's retconning a lot of things. I think genuinely, the stupidest thing is retcon is the recusant sigil. Now, it kind of
all I want to know.
It kind of makes sense in 3D. Like, the organization put the mark on Sora so they can keep track of him. But then they say, oh, you know all those X's that are in everyone's names that Semnus gave him? Yeah, no, that's how he was tracking everyone. It's like, are you fucking
I honestly think it's just the creator watched Berserk. He's like, oh, we should do that thing that Guts has. You know, the thing that, like, essentially, like, lets Griffith and people know where he is, and we slap it on Sora.
I do think it is interesting what he's retconned and what he hasn't. Like, he still hasn't, to this day, explained how Sora comes back when he turns into a Heartless.
No.
From just, like, a hug.
No.
Dude, I just want to know. I just want to know if Kingdom Hearts is a fucking door or a moon. Please.
It's both.
It is both.
Yes. It is both.
So
it's a door and also a moon.
The door is the Kingdom Hearts of people's hearts, and the moon is the Kingdom Hearts of the world, or it might be the other way around.
No, it's the other way around.
So would it be the Kingdom Heart, and then hearts would be the plural?
There's more than one, like all the Halo rings?
So listen. This is what I think. From what I've gathered, the door that shows up and where all the keyholes are the individual like Kingdom Hearts of those worlds, and Sora has to seal them.
Don't you all love how Sora said Kingdom Hearts?
At the end of the first game, he has to seal the final one, which is Kingdom Hearts, because it's all the destroyed worlds. That's what Ansem was trying to reach.
Don't you
in
love
Kingdom Hearts 2, the Heart Moon is just every single person.
I love the logic that, you know, they're actually sitting there, wow, holy crap, we just beat the end of the world final boss. And this guy's still sitting here monologuing, Kingdom Hearts, fill me with the power of darkness!
You're not a true bad guy until you monologue.
And Sora literally just goes, nah, dog, that's light. It opens.
Nah, bro.
He is literally disintegrated by the power of light, but then 4 seconds later they run up to the door and there are dark sides in the realm of darkness on the other side. I'm so confused. Why did it open and there was light, but then there was darkness?
Okay, I do have to say one thing. I don't know, that might be like a metaphor for yin-yang, but I'm not going to give the creator that much credit.
Nomura doesn't know what he's doing.
Imagine if that whole thing is... You know, have you ever seen Watchmen?
I'm familiar with it. But
well, there's a... voice for Watchmen, but there's a scene towards the end of the movie, as well as a scene in the comics, where they encounter the final villain, and he is monologuing about his plan. And once they mention that they're going to try to stop him, he's just like, why would I be monologuing if I hadn't already done it? He already finished it. He already did the plan, and then he was talking about it. Which I just always think... I always think... I always think it's so funny that other villains don't do that. Like, you know, these characters could have just like, okay, open Kingdom Hearts, good, we're done, let's go. And by the time Sora shows up, everything is already destroyed.
When it comes to, like, uploading, like, a virus that's gonna, like, destroy the internet or something like that, like, if that's the main antagonist's goal, they should start the upload process, then do their monologue, because they know that the hero is gonna let them finish most of the time. So the monologue isn't just, haha, here's why I'm doing this plan, it's... crap, I need to keep talking so while this thing uploads.
Just imagine that. Imagine like Xemnas or Ansem or something, just like they're like monologuing and they're like waiting for someone to finish, and they know Sora's gonna wait, and it's not done by the time they finish monologuing, so they just start vamping. They're all like, and I'm not a big fan. I'm more of a fake guy myself, Sora.
He's gonna glance back, see all the hearts up there. There's gonna be a little progress bar, 98%. That's it. We're gonna finish. No, wait, Sora, I'm not finished.
And the sequels to the Star Wars movies weren't that bad.
Don't you want to know? That's what he starts making stuff up. Don't you want to know about your mother? My mother?
Oh my God.
Aren't you curious about why she wanted you specifically to come down to dinner at that specific time?
Are you trying to tell me that Sora's mother was Xehanort?
It was me, Sora.
Because my mother is half Xehanort.
It was me, Sora. I am your mother.
I was your mother.
No!
Not true. My mother sounds like a female.
It can't be possible. Nah.
My mother's not voices in as deep.
Oh, we've gone really.
Yeah, but you didn't think they were talking ducks.
Okay. Back to whatever we were talking about.
What the hell?
What were we talking about?
We were asking him questions about the mainline games.
Moving on. Kingdom Hearts 2. I think he kind of discussed that a little bit.
Yeah.
I won't go over it because it's not mainline technically, but my favorite Kingdom Hearts game is Birth by Sleep.
We were just about to go to Dream Drop.
We're gonna go over.
Oh, I've never played Dream Drop.
Not Dream Drop. Days. 358 Days.
Days. Oh yeah. Okay. Days. I like it. It's a fun game. I have it on my DS.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. Birth by Sleep. You like Birth by Sleep?
Yeah, it's my favorite Kingdom Hearts game. I don't know. 3 different routes, 3 very interesting characters: Terra, Aqua, and Ventus.
Best girl.
Huh? Best girl was Terra.
No, best girl.
Yeah, best girl is Terra, obviously.
Shut up. Oh, sure.
Terra's manly body lets him be best girl.
What are you talking about?
No idea.
Anyway,
Irie's grandmother, best girl.
But yeah, I love Birth by
Sleep. That was a joke. That was a joke.
I do love Birth by Sleep. Kingdom Hearts 3 is the best disappointment I've ever played.
I think.
I mean,
okay, you know what? I'm going to defend Kingdom Hearts 3. I think
the gameplay's great.
It's the best disappointment I've ever played.
All the bullshit that Nomura had put into the series up to that point, how else was he going to end it? Like, seriously.
Dude, I will defend. Well, it's not the end. There's a 4th game coming out, but what I want to say is I will defend Kingdom Hearts 3 to my grave, but I do have to admit it was kind of disappointing.
I think Kingdom Hearts 4 is just going to.
You thought it was disappointing. Imagine waiting for the game since you were 6.
Mm-hmm. I played 2 like a few months before 3 came out, and I'm just like, oh, I'm so excited! It's gonna be so good! And then it just like...
Marcus, you did not wait for Kingdom Hearts 3 since you were 6.
I don't remember how old I was.
The game
it was 13 long years! Because
Shut up!
Nomura's
It was announced 6 years before it released. Yeah, that's a
Well,
long
I didn't
time.
get it until 2019!
Oh, okay. You know, I'm gonna move the topic.
No.
Okay.
Shut up.
Okay.
Shut up. It came out. It came out, I believe it was 13 years, 7 months, and 2 days. That is not an accident.
I'm moving
on. No, wait. Back to the subject of Kingdom Hearts 3. The reason why I think people think it's a disappointment. Oh my god. Is because it's 90% just what people have come to expect from Kingdom Hearts. Like, oh, fun Disney World, Sora meets character. And then, 10% actual story at the end.
Yeah, but, what else is he supposed to do? The story's shit.
No, I actually, that's my favorite part about Kingdom Hearts 3. I just don't like how... Honestly, I just don't like how samey every combat encounter feels. That's my only reason I don't like it that much.
Yeah.
I really like how it took a step back from, funny Organization 13 till the very end of the game.
That is one disappointment. It's that, all, the magic and all the links and all the attractions and all the grand magics, they all just feel like the same thing. It's like, oh, I need to kill 20 Heartless. Do I use Thunder, Fire, Blizzard, Arrow? They all do the same thing.
Also, a lot of the worlds I didn't like too much, what the fuck picked Big Hero 6? I had
Big Hero 6 is a good world. I hate...
Yeah, I like...
No, I'm not saying there's a problem with the world. I think there's a problem with the movie. So I'm like, why
I love the movie. That was his mistake.
Shut up. Jack, that's the worst part. Shut up.
That was his mistake.
That was his mistake.
No,
my brother died trying to save you. That was his mistake.
So in my opinion, a bad movie doesn't necessarily mean a bad world. So
no, I don't think. Just to reiterate, I might have kind of misspoken there. I think that the worlds in Kingdom Hearts 3 are very good. I think a lot of them, like Toy Story, I really like because I'm a big fan of Toy Story, and being just small was really great. Number 2, I really liked. I did really like Big Hero 6 because I thought the environment was neat, and even if I hate the movie, I can still admit when something's fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Aaron does so.
Pirates of the Caribbean. If I have to collect another crab, I'm gonna shoot myself in the head.
Arendelle was bad.
No, wait. There's one thing I will say about Toy Story that they should have changed. They should have gone to Al's Toy Barn instead of the mall.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't go to Owl's. Zurg should have made... Why didn't Zurg show up?
He would have been great.
Also, one thing
they can't show Zerg because he's Buzz's father, and they hate family.
So, we probably have to move on here, but I just want to say one last thing before we did. Also, Kingdom Hearts 3 got rid of 90% of the Final Fantasy characters, and that made me so happy. Anyway, move on!
No! You don't like Leon? Or Cloud?
I don't have a problem with those characters.
Well, they showed up
so weird.
So, audience, if you want to go and kill Gio for that statement, he lives at 123 Fake Street.
Here, I'll give you a general ballpark. I'm somewhere in California. Find me, California.
Anyway, we'll move on. So, are you guys? I think Jack and Marcus are familiar with the exercise, but we have an exercise during the podcast where we say, "Oh, if we have a certain movie or franchise, how would we put them into the game?" And
all right, is it finally time? Is it finally time to talk about Bob's Burgers in Kingdom Hearts, because they are owned by Disney, and that could be a total possibility.
Is this an actual pitch? Like,
no.
Honestly,
it would be like a Ratatouille cooking minigame.
Honestly, my main thing I really want to see in Kingdom Hearts is Star Wars. Now that Disney has all those rights.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
I will say, I'm not a big fan of Star Wars, so just for the sake of all Star Wars fans, wait until you talk about that when I'm not here, because I can't help with that. But
if you think I messed up for saying I don't like the Final Fantasy characters in Kingdom Hearts, if you just say you don't like Star Wars, people are going to come to your location.
Yeah, okay, Gio, I can defend that though. So the reason I don't care for Star Wars is because when I was in college, I never really watched it as a kid. My parents weren't massively nerdy or anything like that, so I didn't really get the chance to watch the Star Wars films. My first opportunity to watch them came in college, and
in case anybody's pissed off by this, he lives in Scotland. I'll go ahead and tag the address in the comment section of this video.
I was talking to my friend in college who's like, "Oh, have you watched the Star Wars films?" And I'm like, "No, I've not really watched them. My only real exposure is, I'm sorry to say this, my only real exposure was Family Guy, but I did specifically avoid those Family Guy episodes because it was spoiling the story." And I said as much. It's like, the only exposure I've had is the Family Guy episodes, which I've watched. He said, "Oh yeah, it's great." And then he proceeds to tell me in great detail what happens in every single one of the original trilogy. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, Dude, I've not watched this. Why are you telling me everything?
It's one thing to give a brief description. It's like, oh yeah, so it's about this guy named Luke, and it's his story of how it gets there. So it gets to a point.
Thanks to this one particular guy, I now have a policy. If someone tells me, "Oh, you should go and watch this, it's so good," I'm like, fuck you. Out of spite, I'm not going to watch it just to piss you off.
Hey, Adam.
Yo, is there something you're really looking forward to watching in this next year?
Why can't I relate to that?
Is there anything you're looking forward to watching in this next year? Just wondering.
There isn't, no.
Okay.
You should definitely not watch Morbius.
It's Morbid time!
No, stop. No. We're not talking about this.
Disney owns Marvel, so there's a small chance in the future there will be a Morbius world in a Kingdom Hearts game, and I will kill myself if that ever happens.
We were going to talk about Meet the Robinsons.
Sora.
Moving on. Yeah. So the exercise that we have is that how would a particular property work in the Kingdom Hearts universe? We were going to use Kingdom Hearts 3 as the basis. So, because Kingdom Hearts 3 is the most recent engine that we're all familiar with, how would a particular property work inside that engine? And I know that Jack and Marcus have been wanting to talk about Meet the Robinsons, so we can talk about that.
All right,
do you want to talk about Meet the Robinsons?
Yeah,
okay.
Hell yeah. So, the first thing though that I would like to bring up is that Kingdom Hearts mainly though it relies on the storytelling of the heart, light, darkness, nothingness, and memory. But they haven't done anything with memory and emotions. Yeah, but they haven't really done anything with memory for a little while. They still play with it here and there, but nothing too major. Now, the big part of Meet the Robinsons is Lewis, the main character. He's this really smart character, and he wants to build a machine that will go deep into his brain to help him remember what his mother's face looks like, because she gave him up when he was a baby. So all he wants to do is put this on, show it off at the science fair, and see his mother's face for the first time, or remember what his mother looks like. So me and Jack were kind of discussing, there's a lot of cool stuff that Kingdom Hearts could do with that. Imagine, what's her name? Strelitzia?
Strelitzia.
Yeah, Strelitzia, yeah. So imagine Sora is working with her, and she holds very important keys to the Keyblade War and trying to stop another Keyblade War, or trying to stop the whatever goes on. They could end up going to the year whatever the heck and meet the Robinsons. And
they're like helping Lewis find the thing, and Lewis is like, "Oh, you guys can use this thing if we end up finding it."
Yeah,
type deal.
I actually kind of have an idea in that department. So if they want to incorporate some points in the movie into like the gameplay, like purely design wise, what they could do. Yeah, sure, T-Rex fight. But what they could do is that they have it set up in a kind of an interesting. Like, you're just like, we need this item for this, but this item doesn't exist, and it hasn't for years and years. So you have to go back in time to find the item. And you come back to the, like, future, present, whatever,
so
and you get the item.
Are we talking like Timeless River, but on crack?
Yeah.
The super boss can be the uncle that had the meatball launcher.
Oh, yes.
He's the super boss.
It's like...
Go on.
Yeah, it's like it'd be like Timeless River in a way, but it's not like to the past. It's like from the future to the present day. Like, this item doesn't exist in the future. Go back to the present day, get this, and you can visit stuff like the orphanage or the.
I could also.
You're kind of referencing a game that I just thought of. I don't remember what it's called, but it's like a paranormal. I think it's called Medium, where you're playing in the present day, but you can like your character has a special power to like shift reality. And half the screen, or for a short amount of time, you go back in time to when things, like before this orphanage that she's walking through was completely destroyed. But then you go forward in time, and then it's completely destroyed. You know what I mean?
I wasn't referencing anything, but I will check that game out. Sounds pretty good. If anything, I was more referencing that one Spider-Man game, Edge of Time.
Ooh, yeah.
Right.
No, well, what I was thinking as well is, like, you could actually meet the Robinsons and go like play mini games, like you can race the train, you can like do a little music mini game with the frogs or something.
Frogs, yes.
So you think
like I can totally see that
happening. The Robinsons world would be a minigame world?
Yeah, but like with a story.
I
kind of like Timeless River.
Like, I was about to say, it would have to be like Timeless River. Have
those little mini games, but they matter to the story. Like, what is it? Wilbur goes like, "Hey, Sora, could you get this thing for us? It's with the Mrs. Robinson and the frogs." And then Sora goes there, he does a little mini game, and then she's like, "Okay, here you go, here's the thing." And you got to do a bunch of them and get all the items, then you come back, and then Bowler Hat guy steals them, and then you got to fight the dinosaur, and then the actual story starts to pick up.
Right, okay.
I could see that happening.
Because we were thinking, though, at the end, Strelitzia doesn't end up using the memory machine for some reason. Sora's gonna be like, "Nah, let's just do this natural."
What is it? No, it would be what's his name? Lewis. Lewis would be like, maybe it's not right to look back on memories. Like maybe you just need to keep moving forward, huh? The thing that they say in the movie. And then
I'm sorry. You said that. The only thing that popped into my mind is just like, we just keep on moving forward.
No,
enemies are destroyed.
No, that Sora learns the lesson that Lewis learned about keep moving forward, and then him and Strelitzia are like, maybe we should stop worrying about the past and start worrying about what we need to do. And
then I get that. Just the image of Aaron popping.
But then Strelitzia is like, no, though, maybe we should have done that. Maybe we should have used that machine. So then the next world they go to, Kylo Ren grabs her by the face and says,
shh,
let go of the past. Kill it if you have to.
No,
Stop,
we are not.
No sequel. Bad.
If Kylo Ren shows up in Kingdom Hearts,
It's my fault.
Imagine
it is your fault. I'm blaming
Sora
you.
is just staring out into the distance, like, and it just gets shirtless Kylo Ren again, like in The Last Jedi. It just like you caught me in an awkward time, Sora.
What the hell's going on?
End of the level, Sora's walking off. It's like, who are you? I'm Sora. Sora Kingdom Hearts. And then he walks away.
Ben swallow.
I'm Sora. Sora Skywalker.
Sora Skywalker.
Oh my god.
I would get in my car, drive across the ocean to Japan, walk into Square Enix, and just smack Nomura across the face. Be like, no!
I'm Sora.
No!
Sora, Riku, Kairi, Mickey Mouse. He just starts listing everyone.
Well, now it's time for me to kiss my distant cousin.
By the way, technically Kylo Ren and Rey are distant cousins. I don't want to bring that up, but they are. They are. It just makes too much sense for them not to be, and I fucking hate it.
Was Rey
and Kylo Ren?
Was Rey by chance from?
Oh yeah.
Because according to Family Guy lore, Alderaan is the Alabama of the galaxy.
It really is.
Well, it's
that
because
is actually
in the comics. In the comics, they imply that Palpatine is Anakin's father.
What?
Because they're saying that Palpatine manipulated the Force to create Anakin.
Yeah.
So in a way that
that's why Anakin doesn't have a father.
So it'd be forward in time. Ben Solo is related to Anakin, who's related to Palpatine technically, and Palpatine is Rey's grandfather. So,
yeah. I can't contribute to this conversation in any way, shape, or form.
Good. I don't want to have this conversation anymore anyway. Anyway, be Robinson.
Boring conversation anyway.
Look,
we're gonna have company.
All right, I think. You got Star Wars. You got
Last time I mentioned this, you yelled at me, but I'm gonna bring it up anyway because I really want to rewatch it. Brother Bear needs to have some kind of representation. It doesn't even need its own world. Imagine being able to summon Kenai or Coda or something like that and ride around on his back and like using the power of the spirits.
No, would be neat.
I could see that, but like not a world. Not a world.
You know what would be so neat? You know what would be really, really neat? Atlantis.
I was just about to say.
Oh, Atlantis would be sick.
Atlantis would be good.
No,
it's not because I share a name with the protagonist.
Before we talk about Atlantis, Marcus, why are you obsessed with Brother Bear? What is wrong with you?
It's a damn good movie.
Tell everybody I'm on my way.
Phil Collins did the soundtrack.
He just wants to make out with Joaquin Phoenix.
He did one good song for that movie. You can't say that the movie's good because of it now.
Yeah,
there's a couple songs.
Just how Tarzan isn't good, but the soundtrack's amazing.
Tarzan, every song's good, and the movie's good.
Oh, Tarzan is good.
I think the soundtrack is good. I've never really enjoyed the movie.
Well, you're free to have your own shitty opinions. Atlantis.
Yeah, ow! Ow!
Damn!
I respect your guys' opinion. Respect mine, please.
Welcome to the club.
So Atlantis, I think that could work as a world.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think
it's literally everyone has their own little heart thing.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it'd work as a story world, like one that actually follows the story of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like going down and eventually making it to the city of Atlantis. It'd be interesting.
I kind of like the idea that it's actually like a sequel. You know how like Monsters Inc. The Monsters Inc. world did its own story after the first movie. Yeah. I kind of like the idea, like the events of the first of Atlantis have happened, and Sword and Goofy go to Atlantis and figure out a new problem that's happening. Like maybe the shadow of the the heartless of the bad guy comes back or something. Because doesn't he die in that one?
Oh,
I have no idea.
Does he? I don't even know.
Most Disney villains tend to die, so I just assumed he was the same.
Yeah, probably. He probably dies. You know,
Wait, who?
Atlantis is a very slept-on movie. That movie's great.
The main villain? Yeah, the main villain dies.
Isn't?
The main villain dies very brutally. I remember he turns to like stone.
I do like Brother Bear, but I can't say that because I've already been bullied enough today.
Yeah, no, I think Atlantis could work. Like, you could have like a whole level on the bikes. Like maybe Goofy's riding the bike, and you have Donald and Sora, riding, like standing on top of it, fighting flying Heartless or some shit.
Mm-hmm. I'm imagining what the Keyblade for completing the world would look like too. Ooh.
Oh, it would straight up look like the architecture with like blue veins going through it. That would look amazing.
It would look amazing. The keychain would probably be the ship.
Yeah, and the Meet the Robinsons one, the keychain would definitely be the hat. Just going back to that.
The bowler hat?
Yeah, it'd be the bowler hat.
To be fair, the keychain could just be like one of those necklaces they wear.
Mm-hmm. I could see that.
I just came up with like a wealth of things. There's like so many ideas I came up with in the last 5 seconds. Another really cool thing to see would be Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Ooh. As much as I love Who Framed Roger Rabbit, I don't know how it would work as a world.
Unless Roger Rabbit would work as like him appearing in one of the other worlds, or
I think it'd work kind of similar to how
I want to see how
like something like Pirates of the. It's probably be similar to something like how Pirates of the Caribbean or something would work, where we have human characters, but we mix human characters with also the cartoon characters.
I think it could work if it was again just after the events of the movie, but it was. I don't think it'd be a movie. It was very much only in Toontown. Like, ignore the real world. I don't think it would work there.
I think it'd only be in Toontown.
But if you stuck primarily to Toontown, that might be fun.
Yeah, it probably would be. It'd probably end up being a minigame world as well, honestly.
It probably would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Though I think, people might disagree with me on this, but I think, yes, I want a lot of new worlds to go around and explore. But I feel some of the best parts about Kingdom Hearts 2 or Dream Drop Distance or any of the sequel games after KH1 is going back to worlds you already know. I want to see a couple of the old friends show up, Like, no offense, but I'm kind of tired of seeing Hercules. But I'd like to go just swing by, even if it's just just for a short few minutes. Imagine swinging by Halloween Town, and just seeing how Jack's doing, or go to Atlantica and take the place of Little Mermaid 2 to show that time works differently, and you could totally reunite with Ariel, and Ariel could be like, Sora, listen, my daughter wants to go out into the ocean. She wants to be a mermaid, which is fine, but now you got Morgana out there. Please help her, and you could reunite with her, and it would make sense that and Ariel's like, I trust you.
I'm sorry, you lost me at Little Mermaid. I'm sorry, I never want to remember anything that has to do with that world.
Well, okay, I'm a lot more forgiving of Atlantica in Kingdom Hearts 1, because Atlantica in Kingdom Hearts 2 was so garbage that I'm glad that it's completely skippable. But the fact that they made water physics work in Kingdom Hearts 3 kind of gives me hope that it could work in the future. But I think you'd have to have a world that is part water, part land, like the Caribbean. Which, you could do Atlantica again. But this time you're hanging out with Ariel on land.
Though maybe Ariel's daughter, Melody, she might not be your party member. You could be working with the Walrus and the Penguin. I don't remember their names off the top of my head, but you could be working with them. And there's a bunch of times where they have to go up on land or on little ice glaciers and stuff like that. So you could totally be going from mermaid form to human form.
Yeah. Sort of like how in Luca they have the sea monster.
Luca would be a cool world.
I would love to see Luca as a world.
You know what I just realized would be a great world since it's owned by Disney now?
What?
The Simpsons.
No.
God.
Sora turns yellow.
Sora turns yellow.
It's the big, the overbite thing that all the Simpsons characters have.
Hey, Sora, what's going on with your skin pigments?
I don't know. And he starts sounding like a Simpsons character all of a sudden. He's like, "Whoa, man, don't have a cow."
I actually hate this idea.
No, and he finally gets his skateboard back from Kingdom Hearts 2, and he skates around.
The final villain is Sideshow Bob, corrupted by darkness.
Oh my god. Okay.
He just makes that noise.
I'll tell you now, the only way that I could see Simpsons working in Kingdom Hearts is if it works like 100 Acre Woods. So, not a book, but maybe
you're watching a TV show and you get sucked in.
Yeah, and you could just jump in, and instead of doing mini games, it's those tiny missions you would do in fighting missions. So Mulan in Land of Dragons, you would have those 3 missions that you'd have to do before you go up the mountain. Or in Toy Box, you'd have to do that mech mini game fighting thing. I would imagine if you took classic Simpsons episodes, which could work with the fighting, and then work that in. That's the only way that I could see the Simpsons working. Other than that, it'd be terrible.
It's Sora from Kingdom Hearts.
I don't like that.
They already got Dan Castellaneta as Genie. He would totally come back.
And the worst part is Family Guy is also technically too owned by Disney. But let's not go down that road.
They could be in the same world. They could be in the same world.
No, for the love of Jesus Christ, no.
Let me summon the giant chicken.
Honestly, a Simpsons world, I wouldn't even really want to have a story. I just like it if you could just walk around Springfield and just have mini objectives like Adam is saying. You know? Like you go to the power plant and bada boom, some Heartless show up and you have to defend the reactor or something.
Yeah, something like that. Or maybe the Springfield Gorge. But Homer's about to go down it and you have to destroy loads of Heartless while jumping between the 2 sides of the gorge so that Homer doesn't hit any on the way over.
Oh my.
And it can use some of the more iconic set pieces from that series. It's I just had a terrible idea. You could be in Principal Skinner's house while it's on fire and you have to defeat all the Heartless before a certain amount of time runs out. Because he was making steamed hams.
Shut up. I don't like you right now. To be fair, there is actually one major reason why I don't think The Simpsons would work as a world. And that's the creators of The Simpsons have been very cagey with how Springfield actually looks on a map. Because they like that flexibility of, on one episode, Homer has to drive to Moe's, but he can't drive back, so he has to walk back, and then something happens on the way. But there's another episode where you could have Homer, I'm going to Moe's, and he just walks next door, and there's Moe's.
Yeah.
They like having that flexibility of the world, and if you're going to have a Simpsons world, you'd have to have set pieces, like the power plant, like Burns' Manor, like the Simpsons house, where...
The same way they did it in Toy Story, where you walk down the street and then it just loads up the next zone.
Yeah,
Imagine if every time you went back to Springfield, the world randomized.
That would be horrifying.
That would be horrible.
They could totally do it, though.
They could totally do it. But yeah.
And no more would do it.
Honestly, to be honest, out of everything I can think of, I might sound crazy, but this world sounds kind of fun to me.
I'm coming around to the idea, but I still think it's stupid.
I keep going around, but it's still dumb. I never said it was a smart idea. I just thought it was a cool idea.
Yeah, nobody said this was a good idea.
No one said it was a good idea.
It's an idea that Nomura would come up with, but I think
you're the one talking about the King of the Hill episode earlier.
I thought it was a joke. Kingdom of the Hill.
Kingdom of Hill.
The darn Heartless. The darn Heartless got in the house again.
Bobby, they took my propane.
No.
Barbie, I sell propane and propane accessories.
What if
I just want the first square?
Keyblade needs to be called the Pro Blade?
No, it has to be the Pro Blade accessories.
So the first quote-unquote swear in Kingdom Hearts is from Axel saying this is going to be one hell of a show. Exactly. But some people may disagree with that. So I think the first swear needs to be the Master of Masters, or whoever's the next antagonist, manipulating the shit out of Bobby, and he turns into like a Heartless, just so I can hear Hank Hill standing next to Sora go, "I'll kick your ass." I'm gonna deck tears it. I'm gonna kick your ass.
The first swear should have been Goofy going "Fiok."
Fiok.
It should have been.
After he got bashed on the head by that boulder.
To be fair, I think after Kingdom Hearts 3, and thanks to a lot of the backlash that it got, Disney could allow Square Enix to have more control over what actually happens. Disney were very controlling when it came to Kingdom Hearts 3, so that's why a lot of the world suffered. But I feel like Disney could be like, oh, you know what? People actually really do love this series. Let's let the experts.
A good chunk of people playing this game are grown men, so
it's the fact that
word from there.
Like, Kingdom Hearts would never. Disney never even acknowledged that Kingdom Hearts was really a thing until Kingdom Hearts 3. But now, after Kingdom Hearts 3, you're seeing things like Disneyland stores selling Kingdom Hearts merchandise. So Disney are acknowledging that this world exists.
It took 20 years, but we're getting somewhere.
Imagine the Kingdom Hearts ride.
I do feel like Disney do have a tiny bit more respect for the series, considering how much they fucked over Kingdom Hearts 3. So I do hope that Nomura does get more of his way, because I feel like he's not out to destroy Disney's reputation. He's not going to be like, oh yeah, we're doing an Encanto world, but Mirabelle's going to go and slaughter the entire town. He's not going to do that.
Mirabelle snaps.
Yeah, he's not going to do that shit, because why would he? He actually
it's not gonna be like Final Fantasy Origins. It's gonna be like where it's like he's like, what about Bruno? We don't fucking talk about Bruno.
You never mentioned that man. He killed so many rats.
Imagine he's what's the grandmother's name?
She's just known as Abuela.
Yeah, imagine if Sora's standing there talking to Mirabelle, and he's just like, maybe we should go up to Bruno's room. Or, hey, maybe we should go ask this Bruno, and Abuela's just like, you shut the hell up. And then just walks off.
Just like, for no reason, just like, gets really antagonistic.
Sora in like some
Sora.
I'm imagining Sora in some like very violent like scenario from a Disney movie that Disney got like through like recent acquisitions, and it's just like he's just like, don't worry guys, you can solve this with friendship. Oh god, my leg, Sora, put me out of my misery. Oh shit,
He just starts getting quiet, just like balls up. He like gets in a ball.
Oh, would you look at that? We have to go back to Traverse Town to find Vanitas. Okay, have a good one.
That's great.
Yeah, I know. I feel like I know that Disney owns a lot of things nowadays, but there is a lot of things that just wouldn't work in the series.
I heard rumors though that Kingdom Hearts is going to still, like be Disney, but they're gonna branch out and start trying to contact other video game developers and creators to cross Disney and Kingdom Hearts over there. A prime example would be, imagine they make a deal, Sora, Donald, and Goofy drop down on the Inkwell Isle in Cuphead.
Wow, Marcus Phoenix!
I don't know about that one.
But
seeing something like Cuphead in Kingdom Hearts would be really cool.
we have reached the 50th minute recording, and we have gone too far. I think it might be time we wrap up. Oh my god.
Remember when every single podcast...
you get for including me. My brain works at like 1,000 fucking miles per second.
Remember when every single podcast before this was actually well structured and paced, but this one was just a...
Oh no, there was like a solid 10 minutes where I just didn't speak. I just let you guys go on about Star Wars. I'm like, my thumbs are really weird looking.
It's like going up the stairs after a girl. Wow, these stairs definitely are made of stairs.
Maybe if we're lucky, they'll start breaking the world order. So then, for example, imagine you go to Halloween Town, something happens, and Jack says, "No, to hell with the world order. I'm coming to help you with this problem."
There is no world order.
Come with you to the Keyblade graveyard.
There's no world order.
I would love a game where you could go to like Agrabah and say, "Hey, Aladdin, we've solved all your problems here. Do you want to go and help us fight some Heartless in another world?" And Aladdin would be like, "Sure, okay." And he follows you to Halloween Town, and you can build a team of Sora, Donald, and Aladdin.
And it'd be so cool if they went that little extra. They don't really have to add extra cutscenes or anything with him, but it'd be cool. Like, it would give the artists of the game a little more freedom. Like, hey, what if they bring Aladdin to this world? All right, let's give him a little Halloween-like costume.
Wait, so I'm just gonna loop back real quick. Funnily enough, if they did something like that in a Kingdom Hearts game, I think we'll have another, like, you guys remember when Kingdom Hearts 3 came out? There were fucking videos like, okay guys, today we're counting down the top 10 most optimal Keyblade loadouts. Like, it's a single-player game, what the hell? It's gonna be like that, but with, okay, we're gonna talk down the top 10, best party formations for Kingdom Hearts 4. Number 1, Hercules and Aladdin.
Yeah, but, it's like... Gio, you gotta remember, the only reason those videos exist is because there are people like us who are just constantly making Kingdom Hearts content. Like, you mock those sort of videos, but we are currently sitting in a podcast dedicated to Kingdom Hearts. We can't say shit.
It's okay, Adam. I'm not self-aware.
I'm gonna end it. Marcus, do you want to read us out? Fucking hell.
This happened. So we're going to go ahead and probably wrap it up here. Remember, everybody, we'll be here, I'm sure, for a very long time, whether you like it or not. This has been Marcus, the voice of Riku, Jack, the voice of Sora, or Soraka, Giovanni, the voice of currently Vexen, maybe more to come, Jiminy Cricket over there, because he yells at me every time I say his name, and,
my name's Adam.
And a few words to send you guys off with. Let the past die. Kill it if you have to.
I'm ending the recording.
May the force be with you. Good night, everybody.
I'm ending the recording right now. How dare you?